Many people are familiar with the main costs of college. However, there's a couple other costs and benefits to college that people aren't commonly familiar with. So this video is going to break those down in a really simple and easy to understand way. But more importantly, in the second half of the video, we're going to talk about some basic life principles you can use to help maximize the value you get from college and what you take away from it. So whether you've graduated college, you're about to graduate, or you're even just considering college, this video is a great place to start because it'll break down the math in a really simple and easy to understand way and also give you some good life principles at the end. The first benefit is it really gives you the opportunity to study and learn about something you're interested in hopes of making that your future career. I think it's really important for all of us to spend time doing things that we love and that we're passionate about. So one of the main benefits of college is really setting yourself up in the future to do something you love. The second and third benefits are really obvious to many people, and you hear it from your parents constantly. They want you to go to college so you can get a good job, high pay, and you can eventually take care of your family or even create a family if that interests you. But you hear it all the time. Most people, or many people, go to college so they can have a more stable financial future. And the third piece is perhaps more interested to college students, but it gives you really a good social 4 years of your life and a good introduction to being an adult or learning what being an adult is. So there's many benefits of college. We're really going to, in this video, focus on the financial side and how to set yourself up for success after college and what decisions you can make before then. So for our example, we're going to use a basic example that most students find themselves in, and that's a 4-year degree, a bachelor student. And this student is basically a full-time student, so they're not working. Also, because they're not working, they're going to incur some student loans. So this person has basically the average amount of student loans. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you what type of benefit and what type of costs come to life. And we're also going to show you how different majors and different specializations kind of impact that picture. So before we get to the costs, let's talk about the benefit. So the main benefit, or one of the main benefits of college, is having a stable financial future and being able to have a job that perhaps pays a little bit better than average so you can create a good foundation for your life in the future. So this slide shows the average income after 10 years of working for different majors in college, for different bachelor's degrees. So what you can see is each bachelor degree makes between $46,000 and $76,000 per year, whereas your high school graduate makes around $36,000 per year. So really the benefit of college is access to higher paying jobs and access to fields and industries that are perhaps more specialized and in more demand in the labor force. So really the point of this slide isn't to basically show good or bad majors, it's to show how different majors have different benefits to going to college and how if you're trying to make a stable income for your life or a stable income for your future, the field you pick does matter. But I also want to say, and we're going to get to it later in this video, there's a lot more than just your major picked, and we're going to talk about those principles at the end, but we're going to start really basically and just focus on the major. All right, so now that you've had a pretty good idea of the benefits or the increase in income we can expect, we need to really talk about the cost of college. And there's actually two big costs that no one talks about or very few people talk about when evaluating college and how to basically go to college. So the three costs we're going to cover in this video are income taxes, opportunity costs, and student loans. So income taxes are a good thing. The more money you make, the more you're going to pay in taxes. Opportunity cost is something that we don't hear a lot about, but it's really important. If you're going to go to college for 4 years, you spend opportunity cost, or the cost of not doing something, of basically not working full time. So let's talk through the three basic costs that we'll use in this example. For income taxes, based on the state you live in, you can expect to pay between 18 and 25% of your total annual income as income taxes. For opportunity costs, we're going to say for this example that if we wouldn't have gone to college, we probably could have made around $8 per hour for 40 hours per week for 4 years. So that is around $58,000 in after-tax income. So that $58,000 is our opportunity cost of investing all of our time full-time into college and going to college for 4 years. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that $58,000 and spread it over the course of 10 years to basically approximate what that opportunity cost is over a long period of time. And finally, one cost that everyone's familiar with, student loans. So your average student for a bachelor's degree graduates with around $30,000 in debt for a 4-year degree. So that turns out to be around $3,800 per year for 10 years. So these are the three costs that we're going to apply to that annual income so we can get a true idea of the true benefit of college financially. All right, so this slide here shows those costs and how they stack up for each degree. So you can see for the health degree and business degree, on average, they're paying about $15,000 per year in taxes. They have about $6,000 in opportunity costs and $4,000 in student loans. So that nets out to around $40,000 per year in after-tax income. That's money that goes straight to their bank account. You could compare that to teaching, which is around $27,000 per year, and a high school graduate, which is around $29,000 per year. So the point of this slide is to explain that there are costs that basically impact the money you take home. So the different degrees and the different industries you enter after college, those have different impacts. So this slide is basically just to explain how those different costs account for and how they play out across different categories or different majors. So now what we're going to do is this slide basically just ignores the cost and looks at the net benefit of each degree. And what you see is there's definitely a trend. There's some industries are really higher pay and higher demand, and those industries tend to have a larger benefit compared to the industries that are more arts, humanities, and teaching oriented. So I wanted to show the numbers here to help show how there is a big disparity or a big difference in the average amount of income people make, and how that impacts their ability to not only pay for loans, but like make the financial investment in going to college. So I really wanted, the main point of this conversation isn't just to like get people excited or bummed out upon the major they picked. It's really to say, this is what the numbers say. Now, what can we do with it to maximize our investment in college? And I think this is actually the most important part of the video. So the next 2 points I want to drive home are two themes. The first theme is degrees basically add to you. They don't define your destiny. And I think this is really important. So for me personally, if you look at the degree I have, which is a marketing degree, many people wouldn't expect for me to end up in more of a technology field or more of a data and perhaps programming background. But my degree added to my background and my interests, it didn't define me. So I think it's really important for people to realize, regardless of what degree you have, you can enter a variety of fields. You can do a lot of different jobs, and there's no reason why someone with a teaching degree can't make a larger income, or they can't enter a really cool job in corporate America or working for a nonprofit or just something. There's nothing like holding them back. So I think it's really important to realize that degrees don't define us. They simply add to us, and there's many other things we can do with our lives that help that. The second piece is plan for average, don't be average. This is really important. So if you're going to enter a field that may have a lower income compared to other fields, I think there's nothing wrong with that. My one recommendation would be to really be smart about what you're doing during college and how to make that as affordable as possible. So a great example would be if it's your dream to be a teacher or your degree to have an arts degree, I really recommend going to community college, working throughout college, and doing your best to reduce the amount of money you graduate in debt to. Because the lower amount of debt, the more money and the more sense it'll make for you financially once you leave college. And that's really gonna set you up for success. So the two important pieces I want people to take away from this video are degrees add to you, they don't define you. So don't let your degree tell you what you can do or what you can't do. There's plenty of jobs that are really exciting that we need a lot of different diverse experiences for. And the second piece is plan for averages, don't be average. Don't let numbers discourage you. But if you're going to enter a field that pays slightly less money, I would just do your best to make college affordable and do your best to leave with a minimal amount of debt so that you can be in a really good place in the future. So this is really what I wanted everyone to take away from this video. And thank you guys for listening for this entire thing. As a reminder, this is a new channel, so every like, subscription, and comment makes a really big difference for the YouTube algorithm. So please do that, and please leave me comments on what you think. Thank you for joining me.